In this lecture, we are going to discover some very basic Excel functions: min, max, average, count, and their extended variations. Now let's get into it. As usual, you can find this Excel file in Resources. We have a similar table just like in the sum function lecture. I added one extra column here. I use the text function referring to column A and using the D format text. Now let's answer some questions regarding this data. I have already filled in these cells here. I just hid them with white font color. I'm going to reveal them one by one. What's the minimum sale value? The min function will tell. It's very simple. You can give one or more arguments to this function. The logic is the same as for the sum function. You can use the same possibilities in the arguments: single cell, multiple cells, ranges, and so on. In this case, we refer to this range, and it will answer the question. We can get the max sale with the max function the same way. Average sale, average function. We can get the number of sales with the count function. Now there is another version of count function, the count blank. This can be useful, for example, if you have a large set of data and you want to check if there are empty cells. These functions above also have versions with criteria check. However, the ifs versions are available only from Excel 2019 and 365. But I'm going to show you alternatives. So the question: what's the minimum banana sale? Now the min function doesn't have minif version. It has minifs version only. The argument structure is the same as for the sumifs. In the first parameter, we refer to the range where we are looking for the minimum value. Then the criteria range and criteria pairs come. In this case, we have only one condition. We need rows that include banana in this range. Now what if you have an older version of Excel? You can get the same result with this combination of functions. The outer function is a simple min, and we nest an if function. So the argument of the min function will be the result of the if function inside. The if function is simple. We check this blue range if it contains banana. If it does, then it gives back the value from this red range. The result of this if function will be a set of sale values, an array. And the min function will pick the lowest one. However, there is a trick you need to apply in order to make this work. You need to complete the formula with Ctrl, Shift, Enter, which is the way of entering a formula like this, called array formula. Look at these curly brackets in the formula bar. If they are not there, the array formula won't work. Let's answer this question. we need the maxIfs function. The first argument is the range where we are looking for the max value. Then we check the first criteria, orange, in this red range. To get only June transactions, we use two criteria. Both of them will be applied on this range. First, we check if the date is greater or equal than June 1st. Second, we check if the date is smaller than July 1st. And that's it. For older Excel version, the solution is a bit more complex. Let me expand the formula bar. I've added line breaks to the formula to make it more readable. This will also be an array formula. These curly brackets indicate this. Outside we have the max function. Inside we use three nested if functions. Look at this if function this way. It takes this range and it goes row by row and checks if the actual cell equals orange. If it does, then the next if function will check the date from the red area. If this condition is true, then the next if function comes and it performs this check. If all the three conditions meet, then it will give back the corresponding value from this sales range to the max function. So the max function will get a set of values where all the three conditions are met, and it will pick the biggest value. Don't forget to finish this array formula with Ctrl-Shift-Enter. Now I know this is kind of complicated. If you struggle with a formula like this, try to build simple ones first. You can also use the shortcut key F9 in the formula bar to analyze a complex formula. Remember, you can select part of your formula, hit F9, and it will show you that partial result. This part, for example, evaluates the condition on each row. The first part of the red area will return true till this row, then it will return false for these rows. I hit escape to quit from the formula without changing it. I collapse the formula bar. Now we can answer this question with the average if function. This is kind of simple. The first parameter is the criteria range. Here we are looking for Monday. And the function will calculate the average from this red area for the values that belong to Mondays. Now let's see this complex question. We use the AVARAGE function. It gives an error message. Let's see why. This first condition looks for Friday transactions. We have one here for banana, one for apple, and another one for apple. So we don't have transaction for orange. In this case, the function returns this error. We can handle a situation like this with another function. I click here at the beginning of this formula. I'm going to use this ifError function. If its first argument is an error, then it will return the second argument. Let me enter a dash sign here in its second argument. And we get a more user-friendly result. Now if I enter banana here, we will get a normal value because there is a banana sale on this Friday. Now let's answer this question with the Countif function. It's pretty simple. The first argument is the range. The second is what we are looking for. We have 7 banana sales altogether. And if we have a more complex question regarding quantity, we can use the Countifs function in newer versions of Excel. We just need to enter criteria range and criteria pairs. Alright, I hope this lecture was useful. See you in the next video.